Good afternoon, everyone listening to us out there. My name is Olumide. I'm reporting live from Voice of the Farmer. Today, we'll be talking about snail farming wealth that we have in snail farming. I wouldn't want us to waste too much of time probably doing the introduction or talking much about what the snail farming is all about. Because I'm going to have a guest today that will enlighten us, that will explain better on what are the things we need to know, or what are the things we need to do when it comes to snail farming, and how can we make a lot of money from snail farming, and even doing snail farming at our backyard there, how can we make a lot of money from it. So I'll be bringing on board Mr. Kayode Adejumo, who is going to be our guest today on Voice of the Farmer, which is going to be our guest. I'll be talking to us about snail farming. So I'll be bringing him on board now. Um, so immediately join. So I'll bring him on board. My name is Olumide once again. I'm the team lead for Voice of the Farmer. So today we'll be talking about snail farming. But before Mr. Kayode Adejumo join us on this show, let me just give us a brief about what snail farming is all about. Because I think I have a little idea about it. Now it's obvious, and it's people know we are now in rainy season now. Yes, we are all in rainy season now. That means, and when you look at snail very well, what they love most is rain. They do well when it comes to rainy season. They do well when it comes to rainy season. That is why it is very important. If you go into snail farming at this moment, it's going to be a good one for you. So without wasting much of our time, let me bring in Mr. Kayode Adejumo, which is going to be talking to us about what snail farming is all about, how can we be a snail farmer, and what are the things we need to do just to be a successful one. Even doing a snail farming at our backyard now, how do we go about it? Hello, hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kayode Adejumo. I'm sorry for the purpose of
Yes,
people that
sir.
are just meeting you for the first time. Please, can you introduce yourself to our viewers at home?
My name is Adejumo Kayode. I'm a snake farmer.
Okay, Mr. Kayode Adejumo Felix, you are a snail farmer. That means you have a lot to say about snail farming. So, but before we go into snail farming, I noticed there are different sectors in agriculture. We have aquaculture, we have poultry, we have livestock farming, we have the crop farming as well. Why do you decide to go into snail? Out of all the livestock farming that you have, let's say you even want to venture into livestock farming, why do you intend to go into snail farming now? So can you just give us a little background about that before we go into the interview in detail?
I entered snake. I started snake farmer. I started being a snake farmer for the past 5 to 6 years. That was when I started snake farming, and it's my passion that drove me into snake farming. I really have passion for snake farming, and it is an untapped blessings in agriculture, untapped good. That's why I venture into snake farming.
Okay, if I get you right now, you said it's an untapped goal that people are yet to go into snail farming. Let's say even if people are into it, they are not much as other sector, like other sector in agriculture. Now, let's say I want to go into snail farming. Now, what are the requirements? What are the things I need to do before going to snail farming? Because today, interview is going to be a practical one now. Because we'll be showing our guests snail, we'll be showing them pen, we'll be showing them snail food now. How do they go about it? So, but before we go into the practical aspect now, can you just explain what are the requirements you need to have? What are the things you need to have? How much can you start with, like the capital to start with that? Because you know when you're talking about any business, you need to know about the capital that you're going to start with. So, what are the things you need to start with if you want to go into snail farming?
You want to go into snake farming. The most important thing is the knowledge. You have to have the required knowledge for you to be successful as a snake farmer. Once you are going to snake farming, just make sure you are signed in it. There are some technicalities. This is beyond picking snake from my backyard and releasing it. Before you know it, you are going to lose all of them. So that's why I said the major thing is knowledge. The capital aspect of it, which is money, That's a small thing. Because if you have money and you don't have the knowledge, definitely the business cannot survive, especially in agriculture. The business will never survive. So knowledge is very important. So for now, that's what I will say. And if you want
Okay.
to start snail farming, you can start with any amount. Any amount. I repeat, you can start with any amount if you want to go into snail farming. But we all know that the higher the more we invest, the more our profit.
Okay, fine. If I get you right now, let me start from the last word you said. You said in snail farming you can start with any amount. That means even with just 10,000 naira, you can start something in snail farming. And but
Definitely, sir.
but what you advise is just that if you are starting, we all know the higher the investment, the higher the return over investment is going to be. Like let's say you are
Yes,
putting
sir.
in 100,000 naira, your profit is going to be higher than person putting in 10,000 naira. But the major thing you said is knowledge now. Like you said, it is important before you go into snail farming. Someone needs to have a knowledge about what he or she wants to go into now. So, for the purpose of people that are just joining us on this interview, we are live with Mr. Kayode Adejumo, which is a successful snail farmer. According to what he said he has been into this business for the past 5 years now, and he has been doing well when it comes to snail farming. So now I want us to go directly into the let me say the requirements of snail farming, and before we now go into the practical aspect, because now we are using this medium to let people know we have more and more. We have more on tap and benefits in snail farming now. We have different value chains in snail farming. But we'll be talking about those value chains. But I want him to just give us a brief about the requirements. After you have the knowledge, you have the capital. What are the things you need to do? Is it just that the snail is going to be staying outside? Do we need to talk about the pen? Do we need to talk about the feeding? Do we need to talk about their maintenance now? At least just give us a brief. Even if we need to do a proper training now, probably if it's going to be a virtual training, but at least we just want to have a brief about what are the things we need to do before we go into snail farming.
Uh, if you want to go into snail farming, we need so many things to put in place before we can get started. For example, now we are talking about wet in snail farming. So you can turn your backyard to money making machine for you. Once you come back from work in the evening or in the afternoon, around 6 to 7, or let me say 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., you can take care of your snail till tomorrow evening again. There is no stress at all. If you are a snail farmer, the 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 level of stress you will go into will be minimal. It will be minimal. For example, for the sake of this interview, I decided not to go to the farm because we are talking about backyard snail farming here. So I decided to show you the pen at my backyard. As you can see, I'm at home. So I have a pen here, which people call cage. So this is where I raise my snail at home. Tomorrow morning, I'll be on the farm. That one is is a large uh, this thing. But for the sake of this class, let me start with this. This is a pen. Sorry, please. So this is the pen. This is the pen that I'm
Okay,
using to raise snail at my backyard. And let me put this, sir. It doesn't smell. Snail farming, if you are into snail, poultry, other livestock farming, let me put it that way. They smell,
sure,
but snail doesn't smell
sure,
at
sure.
all. So you can raise it in front
Hmm.
of your house, behind your house. You can raise it anywhere.
Okay,
So we have different species of snail. Let me show you now. We have different species of snail. We have Achatina marginata. We have Achatina, and we have Achatina fulica. So for the sake of this class, we'll be talking about Achatina marginata. So
okay,
and I will briefly talk about Achatina fulica. So one thing
okay,
about Achatina marginata is that they doesn't lay much. They lay between, let me say, 5 to 15 eggs. And we still have
okay,
two species of Achatina marginata. We have Achatina marginata ovum and we have Achatina marginata suturalis. For example, now, This Achatina marginata ovum, as you can see. This Achatina marginata ovum. This is it. I believe you can all see it. And this Achatina, okay, let me show you. If you check this place, you see that it's dark. And the tail
Okay,
here is also
you mean where is that?
here.
Okay, okay,
So I'm showing you how to identify it. And you see here,
okay,
is a bit dark too. But if you want to know Achatina marginata structuralis, you see that here is pink. I don't know if it is
okay.
showing clearly. So if you see
Yes,
the tail
yes.
here, the tip, it is pinkish in nature. And here,
Okay,
the chest here, it is pink. So that is Achatina marginata structuralis. So, and for Achatina is on the farm. So I didn't bring it home. And this Achatina fulica. So these are the snakes you pick at your backyard. That people say, okay, I
okay. These
want to
are
raise
the
snakes. Can I?
okay. These are the common
Uh,
ones that we pick on. Maybe let me say behind. Maybe inside the block or maybe even
exactly,
outside.
sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
these are the fully. This is
So
Achatina
these are
fuluku
the
now.
regular ones. This Achatina fulica. So they
Okay,
doesn't grow big like that. They doesn't grow big like that. And Achatina, they lay in between 70 to 300 eggs. They lay in
you
between
mean
seventy.
Are you saying
Yes,
AA
sir.
Achatina to Achatina? They lay between
Between
70 to
70
300.
to 300 eggs. So you can see
That's
that's
wonderful.
massive, and they
Yeah,
also grow
exactly.
big. They also grow
Hmm.
big. So let me now show you some. For example, now this grower. I told you I will limit this class to Achatina. Like majorly, I will limit it to Achatina. So this
Okay.
grower. So you can see it now.
Yes.
You can see that it's small.
Yeah, exactly.
So this point of lay. At this stage, they are ready to lay eggs for you. This point
Okay.
of
So
lay.
what's the difference between the point of lay and the grower now?
The grower, they are still at the growing stage. They can't lay egg like
Okay.
that. But once
Okay.
it reach
Okay.
point of lay, they start laying eggs.
Okay. 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 So now, for how
So
long will it take a grower, or how many months will it take a snail to get to a point of lay now? How many months? Let's say
it
I
will
start
take seven to
maybe
eight months.
okay before it gets to point of lay.
Yes, sir. It will take 7 to 8 months. And
Okay.
this one, this is table size snail. Table size.
Okay. That
This
is
is
the
table
table
size.
size now. Okay.
Yes, sir. So this is table size, and this jumbo size. You can see
Okay.
is
Okay.
already
Jumbo size is
closing up.
bigger than the table size now.
Jumbo size is they are very big. So the
Okay.
Yoruba call them Ijoto Tipinu. You understand, sir?
Igbeto ti pinnu. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
they are
Now I
very big.
understand. Now I understand. Okay.
So
Okay.
okay, I'm with you, sir.
Now let's just briefly talk about at least it's going to be like a recap now. Like what are the things that we need to use to identify the species? Because I think what you majorly spoke about now is the species now. That is, we are talking about AF, we are talking about A and 8F. That is Ajatina machinata, and Ajatila fuluku. So now, what are the things since you have shown us now? So I just want you to recap because we just had some people that just joined us on this live broadcast now. So what are the things you said? Some will have pinkish tip, why the mouth is going to be pink as well. So can you just explain briefly before we go to other aspects now?
Okay, sir. For Achatina marginata, the bottom will be round like this. As you can see,
Okay. Okay, that
you
is
see the
AF,
tip, it
Argentina
is round.
Machinata. Yes.
That's Achatina
Okay.
marginata, AHM. Both AHMO,
Okay.
Achatina marginata ovum, and Achatina marginata structuralis, the bottom will be
Okay.
round.
Okay.
For Achatina, the tip will be it will be long.
Okay.
See, it will be pointed like this.
Okay.
This Achatina fulica. The tip will be
Okay.
it will be like this. For
Okay.
Achatina, the tip will also be pointed. It will be pointed. Okay, I think I can still get one in the other case. Let me get one. So that's for Achatina fulica. And for Achatina, I have a small one here. I'm coming. So this is it. The tip is also pointed.
Okay.
But Achatina they grow bigger than Achatina fulica, the one we see randomly.
Okay, okay. Now let me just summarize this for our listeners now, our viewers now. Now, what they are trying to say is just that we have majorly three species of snail now. We have the Achatina, we have the marginata, and we have Achatina follicula. So that means we have the one that is grow that always grow bigger. Now, if I want to ask a question now from our guest now, if you are going to advise us on the type of species we need to go into now, if you are going into the commercial production of snail now, which species should we go into now?
If you want to go into snail farming as a newbie, as a beginner, you have to start with Achatina marginata. That's AHEM. It is easy
Okay,
to rear, and
okay,
it is very easy. Let me put it that way to raise.
okay, okay, okay. And is it the one that lay more eggs now, like you said, from
It is the
70
one
to
that lay
300?
5 to 15 eggs. The one that
Okay,
lay
5 to 15 eggs.
70 to 300 eggs, that's AHE, Achatina. If you want to raise it, I always advise people to go for Achatina marginata first, because that one
Okay,
it needs a bit technicality for you to raise it.
okay, okay. Now, I get now. So let's talk about the housing now, because according to what you show us, that you said you have a pen which people call cage now. So if I don't have the capacity, or let me say I don't have that, I'm not that buoyant to have that kind of cage now. So do you have other system that we can use to rear snail?
Yes, sir. We can use tire if you want to raise it. If you don't have the capacity of building a pen, you can use tire, and you can do something like trench. You use block. That one is trench.
Okay,
You use block. If you want to do that one, you use block. For pen, you use wood. For example, let me show you this now.
okay,
Sorry, I'm trying to change the cam. So, like I said the other time, this is pen. You can see that this is wood,
okay,
and this
okay.
is net. Uh, as you can see.
Yes.
So you can also use tire, uh, and you can use buckets if you like, but
Okay.
preferably tire.
Okay. Okay. Now, I want to ask a question now, which is very technical now. Where we are now, we are in Badagry now, and if looking at the sound we have around Badagry here, it is somehow salty. But looking at the pen you have there, I've not seen any sound. I don't notice you have sound there. Although, are you saying we can rear snail without sand, or how do we go about it if we want to rear snail in this kind of area that the land is salty? Because I think that is the question people have been asking, that we in Badagry, can we still rear snail because our land is somehow salty and it is sandy now? Because according to what I heard, if you want a snail to be successful, or you want to survive in snail farming, your land must be loamy now. But now in Badagry here, the most land that we have here, let me say they are sandy soil now. So how do we go about that? Can you just give us an enlightenment on that, sir?
Okay, sir. This is soilless snail farming. I've been working on
Okay,
this research for over 2 years now. Is
okay,
it possible for us to raise snail without using soil? It is very possible. I've been working on it, and I can tell you it is successful. As you can see
okay.
now, I'm not using sand here. I just put sand. Have have you seen it?
Yes.
So I'm not using sand. This is called soilless snail farming. These are
Mm,
plantain leaves. We are in the day. The snail will hide
sure.
under the leaves. You understand? At night,
Okay, that
all
is
of them will come out
okay. Are you
because they
saying
are nocturnal.
the leaf is just like a mulching now, just like to cover them?
Definitely, sir. So this is for
Okay.
mulching. As you can see, you can see snail now, Shebi.
Yes,
You, uh,
yes.
you, so if I open it now, you can see snails. You can see
Okay.
them. So they will
Yes,
lay
yes.
here. They will do everything here. So for them to have salty soil over there, that's not a problem. And another thing, you can
Okay.
use sandy soil or sandy loamy soil to raise snail, and it will
Okay.
be successful.
o- Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now, what I'm trying to say is that as we are in Badagry here, we can use our sandy soil, or we go into soilless means of rearing a snail
You can
now,
use
which is
sandy soil.
what.
You can use it, but there should be no salt there. If you want to use it, there should be no salt.
Okay. Now, but I think if with what we have here now, if preferably it will be a better one if we go for the soilless farming now. That is the soilless way of rearing snail, like the one you have now. So, but this system can it work in a way? Let's say we are using tire now. Can we have a soilless means of rearing snail inside the tire? Is it possible?
Yes, definitely you can do that. Example now, if the place is plastered, so you can put
Okay,
the tire at your backyard, then put the snail there.
okay, okay, okay.
But
Now,
okay,
no, you want to say something? Go ahead, sir.
yeah, I want to say I always advise people to use pen, to use cage, because you know your input is equal to output. If you start with 100 snail now, your output will be more. If you start with 50 snail, your output can't be like someone that started with 100 snails. That's the only difference.
Okay, now I get you now. So now let's talk about the feeding aspect now, because now we've spoken about the housing, which you said we can use the pen. That is the one you show us, and you can also use tire. Even you said some of us can also use buckets if you wanted to start smaller. But the thing is just that the more you put into a business, the return
Y-
over investment you get.
yes,
Now,
sir.
so when we're talking about the feeding now, because I think some people are saying the feed how to feed snail is somehow difficult now. Like, what can you say about the feeding aspect, sir?
If you want to feed snail, they are the feeding. In fact, out of all the livestock animals that we have, snail is the easiest because they eat anything. Virtually everything you give them, they eat it. Number one, we
Hmm.
have their formulated feed. Number two, they eat leaves. They eat cassava leaves, they eat ugu leaves, they eat pawpaw leaf, they eat cocoyam leaf, and they eat pawpaw fruit, they eat watermelon. Maybe you buy watermelon now, the leftover you can give them. And you can do Father Christmas for them. So you can buy a whole snail and you give a whole watermelon and you give them.
Hmm. Are you saying they will eat a whole watermelon, like when you just slice it and you put it in their pen, they are going to eat everything?
They are going to finish everything before the second day.
Okay, so now what I'm trying to say is just that, according to what you said snail feed is the easiest one now because they feed on anything, virtually anything. Now, talking about
Definitely.
anything, now well, what about the leftover food that we eat? Can we give it to them?
You can't give them because it will contain salt. You can only give
Okay,
them if there is no salt in it.
okay, because that's the question I want to ask, because
If there is no salt in it,
you said we should not rear them on the salty sand now. So giving
yes,
them a
sir.
leftover food that have salt now might be harmful to them. That was why I said let me just ask. So now, if let's not talk about the value chain in snail farming. Now, let's say we started
Sorry,
rearing the
sir. Let me
snail.
show you the feed. I talk
Okay,
about the formulated feed. This is their formulated feed. I believe you can
okay,
see it very well.
yeah, yes.
So this is it. And this calcium.
Okay, what does that
With
do?
calcium, they it is for the formation of their shell.
Okay,
Calcium is for the formation of their shell, and it makes them grow faster.
so how do you feed them with calcium now? Is it that you are going to mix it
The
with the
same way we give
formulated
them
feed,
their
or?
formulated feed. No, no, differently. We feed them differently. We give them.
Okay. Now let's assume I'm not using formulated feed. I'm using the normal leaf and the watermelon. So how do I give them the calcium now?
You can give them the calcium by putting it in their pen. Okay, let me show you. So if you want to give them the calcium now, this is how you will do it. Just spread it. You have to get a container that is shallow and flat, something like this.
Okay.
Then you put water beside it. That's all.
Oh,
So at night
will
they
they
will
go
come
there?
there and eat
They will go
everything.
there themselves. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. So now this calcium now, do they sell this calcium or you form it yourself too?
We do everything on our farm. We formulate the feed ourselves. We do the calcium ourselves. Everything we do it on our farm.
Okay, now let's before, because we have spent too much time on this now. So let's talk about the value chain in snail farming now, because if the major purpose of rearing snail is not just for consumption alone. Some people want to go into the commercial aspect of it now. So let's assume I want to go into the commercial aspect of it. So what are the value chains that we have in snail farming? So, and how do we go about the
Um,
marketing aspect of it now?
the value chain in snake farming. This number one. Let me be brief because of our time. This oven dry snail. Can you see it now?
Yes.
This oven dry snail. The way we everything about this is natural. The way we preserve it is going to, like, it will be more than a year, and everything will be okay. It won't spoil. It will be okay. It will, like, the nutrient content will still be there. So this oven dry snail, like I said the other time, this is it.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not putting on glove. So that's number one of the weight in snake farming, or the value chain in snake farming. So another thing you can do is, you can get, so apart from that, if you still want to, maybe you are someone that feel like, okay, I don't want to raise snake, I just want to go into the value chain. I've spoken about the oven dry snake. I won't come back to this. So another thing you can do is that you can be selling their feed. You
Okay.
buy their feed, you sell it to other people. That's another thing, another value chain in snake farming. And another thing is, you can be producing slime, snake slime.
Okay. Okay.
uh so that snake slime, if you want to be doing it, it's not compulsory you have a snake farm. What you will do is that you just liaise with some snake farmers, you go to their farm, you extract the slime, then you sell it, maybe to cosmetic industry, to pharmaceutical industry, and individual they buy it, because it is very good for our health. It boosts our immune system. Everybody need snail slime. Everybody need it. So I've spoken
Okay.
about three value chain now. Number one, you can turn it to oven dry snail or peppered snail. Number two, you can produce slime. I'm sorry, we don't have any slime for now. We'll be extracting the next one next week. So that's why we don't have snake slime for now. So, and another thing we need about it is that some people can be buying snail. It's not compulsory you raise it sef. You buy and you sell.
Hmm. So
So
it's not
if you
compulsory
are following
you
my
start.
page, it's not compulsory, but I will advise you start rearing snail, because the demand is going higher. Like, the demand is not coming down at all. So I will advise you to raise snail, so that your source of income will be multiple. For example, now if you want to extract snail slime, and it costs a lot of money. If you want to sell it, it is always very expensive. I mean snail slime. So imagine
Hmm.
you have snail on your farm and you are extracting it. That's double income from snail farming alone. You can sell the snail, you can turn it to oven dry, you can extract the slime, even their shell. Nothing, there's no wastage in snail farming. Their shell, you can sell it. And the most interesting aspect of it is that, for our clients, we buy back from them. Peradventure they want to sell for us, we buy back from them.
Okay. Now, I get what you're saying right now, because I want us to round up this interview now. You said the value chains we have in snail farming is that you can decide to be like, okay, you rear probably to a point of lay, you oven dry, that is the processed one, or you peppered snail. You can also decide to be maybe extracting the slime and selling to pharmaceutical, or let me say cosmetic industry, and you can
Yes,
also
sir.
decide to be selling the feeds as well. So that, but my question is this now: you said you can have a snail and you can extract the slime yourself. So while extracting the slime, are you saying the snail will not die? Is it possible? Like, can you extract the slime and the snail will still be alive? Is it possible?
Definitely, sir. They won't die. The snail will not die at all. The only thing you can do is that you can be extracting once in a month. so that they won't lose weight too much. You can be extracting it once in a month.
So once you extract, another one will reproduce again. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yes, sir.
That is a lot too. So anybody that is yet to go into snail farming, that means they are losing. So I'll be writing up this interview because we just decided we want to spend just 30 minutes on this interview. So by God grace, we are going to bring Mr. Kayode Adejumo once again, probably when he's on the farm, just to show us the greenhouse means of rearing snail now, not just the pen at the backyard now. So I hope we've been able to get one or two things now. We spoke about the requirements, what are the things we need to do. We spoke about the knowledge now, and I think one of the things we need to do is what we are trying to do on this interview. That we are trying to pass knowledge across to people on the requirement and things to do when it comes to the snail farming. Now, I can tell you the demand for snail farming and for snail is getting higher. It's never coming down because people need snail. Where they are, according to research, they say snail is very very healthy and it is even good for let me say people with of old age now. So please, I will employ one of us to go into snail farming. We can start smaller according to what our guest said. So I'll be ending this interview today. So I'll bring in Mr. Kayode Adejumo next time just to talk to us about snail farming again. My name is Olumide. I'm reporting live for Voice of the Farmer. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you, sir.